history of commercial fishing on this planet dates back to the post-industrial revolution, where mechanization allowed human beings to extract far more fish than they were ever taking ever before. So overfishing has been going on for a long time, and because of the incredible abundance of all kinds of fish, both tropical and temperate and Arctic, fishing was very easy. It's just become more difficult nowadays because the populations of all the favored species have gone down so badly. So fishing has become harder, and the mechanization has become more important. The technology has played a bigger part, and we've become ruthlessly efficient at extracting marine life. We can take anything we need from any depth at any time of year. So what has that led to? That has led to a lot of conservation and better management of certain species. We've also seen the rise of shark ecotourism. That's played a huge role in stemming the loss of sharks generally from marine habitats, and woken up some countries as to the value of a living individual shark or fish, and has opened the eyes of many other politicians in places where tourism is the key sector in terms of socio-economic benefits to their country. They don't have agriculture, they don't have mining, they don't have some of the other sources of income, construction or medical or banking or legal. So they resort to the environment. Mexico, this part of the Yucatan, is a prime example. Where I live, the Cayman Islands, is a prime example. So is Jamaica. So many of these places are finding out, albeit a little bit late, that living marine life is actually far more valuable than dead marine life. There's nothing bad about fishing. It has to be done in a sustainable way, and any indiscriminate fishing practice needs to be removed right now, otherwise it's going to be all over. You take a look at a few of the other examples of successes where fish species have been fished down to next to nothing, like the Goliath grouper in Florida, or like the Nassau grouper throughout the Caribbean. In the last 20 years there have been programs of protection legally, there's been enforcement. There have been all sorts of rational protection measures put in place that have actually worked. And these success stories need to be told to the world. So what's the alternative? Fish farming. Fish farming is a big option. So what about fish farming? There's good and bad. People like to eat the exotic predators like mahi-mahi and cobia and salmon and groupers and stuff like that. Well, it's not economical because predators take too much other protein to raise them. The conversion ratios are not good enough, and so it'll never work. Not from an aesthetic perspective, and certainly not from a business perspective. So people need to choose fish that basically eat grass or eat algae or can survive on soybean. And a fish like the tilapia will become the savior of the world, because people will not stop fishing, they'll not stop eating fish, but you can substitute wild fish for farm fish and make it all worthwhile. I have a lot of hope that the technology in fish farming will become so good that we'll become very, very efficient as growing chickens as growing fish. And that'll take a lot of pressure off natural wild populations. When you think of it, fish are basically the only wild animals we still eat. We still actively have to go out there and catch them. Everything else is raised on a farm and brought to your supermarket on a plate, wrapped in cellophane, cleaned and ready to go. And fish are the only wild animals that we still kill in the developed world, that's for sure, and are generating protein from a natural source. With the population growth as it is, that can't last. So all of us, it's like I said, it's our collective responsibility to try and conserve not only fish, but their natural habitats around. And in the face of all the coastal developments that's happening, dredging, overfishing, bottom trawling, all these things will come to an end eventually. And marine life will bounce back in all its glory. Of that I am absolutely sure. We will come to our senses. It is our collective responsibility to conserve the marine environment and to maintain the biodiversity of this planet.